Unos días de que la Agencia Libre comience en la NFL, es difícil imaginar los planes de los Dallas Cowboys. Por meses hemos hablado sobre la posición de safety y la posibilidad de traer a uno de los agentes libres más codiciados en la liga, Earl Thomas. Claramente, es una posición de necesidad para los Cowboys pero aún está por verse cómo abordarán la situación. Las cosas se tornaron un poco más interesantes cuando Calvin Watkins de The Athletic reportó esta semana que los Cowboys no estaban interesados ni en Earl Thomas, ni en Landon Collins, los dos mejores safeties en el mercado. A pesar de que este reporte ha sido muy discutido, no estoy dispuesto a tomarlo como una verdad absoluta. Por meses se ha reportado el interés de los Jones por Thomas e incluso se ha hablado de que ya tuvieron una junta con su agente, a pesar de hacer una reunión informal. Cuando hablamos de la posibilidad de conseguir a uno de estos safeties, el problema no parece ser el interés que Dallas podría tener, sino lo que tendrían que pagar. Earl Thomas busca un contrato de $15 millones al año. Si los Cowboys se enredan en una guerra de ofertas con un equipo como los San Francisco 49ers, quienes tienen más de $68 millones disponibles en su tope salarial. Free agent es Earl Thomas, Troy Wayretan, USA Today Sports, con tantas extensiones pendientes dentro de casa, como la de Dak Prescott y la de DeMarcus Lawrence, de quien hablaremos más a continuación. Me inclino a pensar que los Cowboys tendrán que esperar hasta la segunda oleada de agentes libres para conseguir su safety. Hay muy buenos jugadores, dignos de ser titulares, en el mercado. Jugadores que a pesar de no estar al nivel de Thomas o de Collins, podrían impactar la defensiva del equipo en una manera muy considerable y por un precio mucho más razonable. De Boston, Adrian Amos, DeMarcus Joyner son solo ejemplos. Tengo que ser honesto y admitir que ver a Earl Thomas vistiendo azul y blanco con una estrella en el casco sería genial. Sin embargo, no me sorprendo si la administración acierta persiguiendo a un agente libre titular más económico. La etiqueta de DeMarcus Lawrence sin duda fue una pequeña decepción recibir la noticia de que DeMarcus Lawrence había recibido la etiqueta franquicia por parte de los Dallas Cowboys. A pesar de esto, era de esperarse. Lo bueno es que ambas partes tienen hasta el 15 de julio para llegar a una extensión a largo plazo. Los Jones han sido muy claros estableciendo que quieren quedarse con Lawrence y me atrevo a decir que lo lograrán antes de la fecha límite. No debe de ser nada fácil negociar un contrato de más de $100 millones. Es importante recalcar que en estos contratos, el promedio anual o el total de un contrato es en muchas ocasiones lo de menos. Negociaciones como estas se pueden detener por temas de dinero garantizado, bonos, etc. En este momento Lawrence contará en el tope salarial como un golpe de $20.5 millones. Siendo la etiqueta no exclusiva la que recibió, algún equipo podría negociar con Lawrence un contrato. En caso de que un equipo le haga una oferta, los Cowboys tendrían la oportunidad de igualarla. Si deciden no hacerlo, reciben 2 selecciones de primera ronda como compensación. Suena como un motivo para asustarnos, pero realmente no lo es. Históricamente, lo normal es que un jugador etiquetado se quede en su equipo. Esta historia no terminará pronto. Lawrence amenazó desde la temporada pasada, cuando recibió su primera etiqueta franquicia, que no jugaría un segundo año seguido bajo la misma circunstancia. Mientras no haya una extensión, DeMarcus faltará a entrenamientos, no tendrá cirugía en el hombro y presenciaremos un drama en Dallas. Lawrence ha sido uno de los mejores defensivos en la liga desde el 2017 y realmente merece un contrato enorme. Es imposible saber cuál de las partes está ofreciendo menos de lo que debería o pidiendo más de lo que debería. Esperemos que llegue a un acuerdo lo más antes posible para retener a un jugador de primer nivel en el equipo. 2019 Free Agency Cowboys in Spanish DeMarcus Lawrence safety as the Washington Redskins get ready for a new season, finding their starting quarterback sits atop their off-season priorities. In February, reports came out saying that the team expected Alex Smith to miss the entire 2019 season, forcing them to look for another signal caller. This Thursday, the Redskins traded with the Denver Broncos for 31-year-old QB Case Keenum, who started for the Broncos throughout the 2018 season. Keenum's performance in Orange was rather disappointing, leading its former team to acquire Joe Flacco and likely target a rookie quarterback in the NFL draft to replace him. Keenum is the latest QB to join the NFC East, and he'll do so without a guaranteed starting job. According to Ian Rapoport, he'll have to battle Colt McCoy for the top spot in the depth chart. The Broncos get skinned 6th, Washington get a 7th. This seems like a fair trade for both teams. Broncos managed to dump Keenum's salary and the Redskins get a potential starter for their most pressing need. Should Cowboys fans be concerned about his arrival? While he does provide the Redskins with an experienced quarterback for what could have been a concerning QB room, Case Keenum didn't have a great year in Denver, throwing for 18 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. His inconsistency cost the Broncos wins more than a few times last season. I wouldn't be concerned about him turning the Redskins into a legitimate threat in the division. However, may not be done making moves at quarterback. Many have linked them to the Josh Rosen rumors. If the Arizona Cardinals are indeed considering trading Rosen to another team, the Redskins could be an option. After all, they need an answer for the long-term future. It's tough to imagine the Cardinals moving on from the guy they just traded up to draft less than a year ago, but rumors are pretty strong to not pay attention. Throughout the week in Indianapolis, I didn't run into one agent, scout, coach or general manager who thought anyone but Kyler Murray would be the top overall pick, Matt Miller, Bleacher Report's NFL draft writer. Even if it's not the Josh Rosen route, the Redskins could still look for a QB1 elsewhere. Whether it's a free agent, Nick Foles, for instance, or a rookie who falls to their pick in the first round, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last QB move Washington pulls off before the season. For now though, Case Keenum should be the favorite to be lining up as the Redskins' starting quarterback when the Dallas Cowboys play them next season. Last week, Stephen Jones addressed the media for the first time this offseason. He talked about the then upcoming NFL Combine, the NFL Draft, free agency, and the current coaching staff. He talked about where he thinks the Cowboys need to do to improve in certain areas this spring, and where they believe their assets will be best allocated. The entire press conference can really be summed up by one phrase, however. One which he used time and time again during that 20-minute media availability. Take the next step for a Dallas Cowboys franchise which has not reached an NFC title game in over 20 years. The next step has been elusive. Finishing out 3 of their last 5 seasons with divisional round losses, and the other 2 without even reaching the postseason, taking the next step has been more of a pipe dream than a reality for the Cowboys as of late. In 2018, even as they battled down the stretch to win the division and then a home playoff game, it never really felt like they were close. Did it? Maybe there's some hindsight in that observation, as we now know that C.J. Anderson would embarrass the Cowboys' front 7 for 4 quarters, and the Cowboys would find themselves eliminated on the road at Los Angeles on that Saturday night. But, regardless, it felt like a long shot the Cowboys could go into either Los Angeles or New Orleans and win in January. Let's forget feelings, though, and focus on facts. as the Cowboys enter free agency in the coming weeks, and have 6 lottery tickets in the upcoming NFL Draft. Every move is supposedly focused on one goal: taking the next step. In other words, the end goal is getting to and winning an NFC title game, and finding themselves back in the Super Bowl for the first time since the 1995 season. By all reports, the first order of business is to take care of their own. They've already brought back longtime tight end Jason Witten, and now plan to pay Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and DeMarcus Lawrence. Amari Cooper and Byron Jones are also on that list, but by the sound of things, Lawrence, Prescott, Elliott are the 3 main priorities. Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott takes a handoff from quarterback Dak Prescott in the first quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles. Elliott ran for 151 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, and led his team to a 27-20 victory over the Eagles. Paying a running back elite offensive playmaker money is a dangerous game to play, as is paying a quarterback due to their ever-increasing market value. But the Cowboys really have no other choice. These are their guys, they're the leaders, and will be sticking around the Cowboys for the foreseeable future. But if the Cowboys are going to, for the most part, run it back and keep the status quo on their roster, how close are they really to that next step? As good as their defense was in 2018, and as young as they still are, defensive performance is incredibly volatile. As we all saw with Jacksonville last season, team defense varies greatly from year to year and isn't something you can normally bank on going into the season. Most consistent winners in the league can throw the football to win games. Can the Cowboys as currently constructed rely on their passing game at that rate? It's a fair question to ask, but as an optimist, there are certainly factors which point towards the answer, trending towards yes. But now, with the drama surrounding DeMarcus Lawrence and the franchise tag, there's even more reason to question what the front office plans on doing this offseason. Dallas wants to bargain shop. They want to improve their roster, but to only do it on their terms. With the new age star in the NFL taking the lead from the NBA and realizing the power they have in these negotiations, this plan likely won't work the same as it has in the past. The Cowboys need to be smart this offseason. Pay Lawrence what he deserves. Don't penny push when it comes to the leaders and best players on your football team. Other free agents will notice, and they will exercise their power accordingly. And if Dallas is serious about wanting to take that next step, getting Lawrence signed should be of the utmost importance. The Dallas Cowboys have a big need at the safety position, and the NFL just happens to have plenty of top free agents available. When free agency begins next week, Dallas will be among the top teams, being linked to the likes of Earl Thomas, Landon Collins, Eric Weddle and Tyrann Mathieu among others. However, a report from The Athletic's Calvin Watkins begs to differ. Watkins took to Twitter on Tuesday to report the Cowboys are actually not interested in Earl Thomas or Landon Collins. He also mentioned they're not looking at recently released Eric Weddle. Let's clear this up now. A source tells at The Athletic DFW Cowboys have no interest in Earl Thomas or Landon Collins. The financial price is too steep. This isn't new news. Now Cowboys also have no interest in Eric Weddle either. Price is everything. With Thomas seeking more than $15 million per year, it's only logical to think the Cowboys will have a tough time getting any of these top safeties to wear the star in 2019 and beyond. However, I simply do not buy a report saying the Cowboys aren't interested in these guys. The Cowboys have been trying to get Earl Thomas on their team since last year, when they tried to trade for him with the Seattle Seahawks. For months, we've been hearing about the mutual interest that exists between both parties. The team met with Thomas's agent last week during the NFL scouting combine. Even if it was nothing but an informal meeting, they met. As John Williams put it on Twitter, this is misinformation season. Wasn't it last year when the Cowboys weren't going to spend money in free agency and then went ahead to offer Sammy Watkins big-time money? Haven't we seen enough inaccurate reports this time of the year to know we shouldn't take them as indisputable truths? Now granted, in a bidding war for Earl Thomas, the Cowboys are likely to be on the losing side when the time comes. Teams with a much better cap situation will be in the mix, including the San Francisco 49ers, who have over $67 million available according to Over the Cap. If push comes to shove, Dallas won't be in a comfortable position to offer more than other teams. Not with such a long in-house to-do list of players waiting for big-time extensions. But not being interested is another thing. Cowboys have a big need at safety and they'll surely look at all their options, including the top free agents in the market. With such a free agent class, waiting until the NFL draft to find a safety would be a huge mistake for Dallas. Without a first-round pick, they'll have fewer chances of properly addressing other positions of need, and frankly, there are very good safeties even after the Tier 1 guys like Thomas and Collins. https://twitter.com/tomplisarrow/status/11029884548608614440. Not to mention, thanks to Xavier Woods' versatility, the Cowboys will have the opportunity to target any safety they want. Woods can play in both safety positions without a problem. With free agency ready to begin next week, I won't be surprised if the safety market takes a while to take off. With so many quality players available, they might wait on each other to set the value for what has been a slow market over the last few years. What I don't expect to see is the Cowboys being uninterested on a player they've been targeting since last season and on other top safeties who would help the defense a ton. The cap space is an issue, but the front office will have ways to work it if they really want to make a run for any of these free agents.